UK. I am a Hiss Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain.
Hello.
We're doing a riffing news today, where we talk about rumors, supposed fights, speculation, everything like that, and we just riff off each other what we think about it. So the first bit of riffing news we've got here is coming from Dan Raphael. I'm just going to load up his statement. So, here we go. Right. I'm just going to pause it here. So, basically, Daniel Dubois. This is come from Daniel. Just first, this is from Dan Raphael's page. Yeah. But to get the full story of what he's saying, you've got to pay and subscribe to it. So, it is officially from his page. But we haven't subscribed to it because I'm not paying 20 quid to read something that someone else has read and going to say. So, exactly. So I've got someone else's page that's free who's reported the news, but I have been on Dan Raphael's page and verified he did say it, and he's a very credible source in the boxing world, Dan Raphael, isn't he? So anyway, firstly,
and just to confirm, Chris, this is breaking news now. It was released by a lot of outlets yesterday, so we're only a day late, but this is all like breaking confirmed pretty much now. So you can take it as pretty much verbatim.
So February 22nd, Rise of season, Art of Beterbiev versus Bivol 2, the rematch. On the undercard, Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker.
On the other co-main, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
is it the co-main?
I think they're co-main events, so you'll have either Beterbiev Bivol go first or Daniel Dubois Parker, whichever. Okay, and then after that, keep going. What's next? Then we've got a beauty. Virgil Ortiz, who's the interim champion. What belt is it? I think it might say here.
Oh, I've got that written down from one of our previous videos. It's WBC, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought so. I wasn't 100%. So Boots Enis stepping up to 154, going for the mandatory belt at WBC. So that's a really good fight. Really good fight. And then hopefully we're going to see what Duran Ennis is made for. Next, this card, I think this might be better.
WBC interim, yeah. Just confirmed.
Well,
also, we pretty much said that it was looking likely Boots Ennis would fight Virgil Ortiz, didn't we? Yeah. We both thought that was the most likely to happen.
Because obviously he's not performing at 147, and he's not getting the fights. But moving on, Carlos Adames versus Hamza Sheeraz. That's what we said. He didn't want that smoke with Janabek, and he chose to go the WBC route.
Yeah.
Then after that, we got Zhang versus Ajit Kabayel. They're fighting each other. Both of these guys were supposed to fight Martin Bakole. Both of them for a final eliminator.
No one wants that smoke, mate. No one wants the Congolese, the 6'6", 20 stone Congolese wrecking ball. No one wants a part of it, mate. Clearly,
it's funny though. Like first, Kabayel was supposed to fight Bakole, then he ducked it. Then Zhang was penciled in to fight Bakole. He's ducked it. And now these two are fighting each other.
Can we just say, Chris, if you agree with me, is Martin Bakole the most avoided heavyweight in the modern era, or what?
Yeah, for sure.
I can't remember a heavyweight since maybe Deontay Wilder in those kind of peak prime years. Maybe he was avoided a bit. I can't remember a heavyweight in recent memory as really avoided. And I get it. He's very high risk, relatively low reward because of the PPVs, right? We're not silly here on Boxing Bros UK. We know how it works, but still, he is massively avoided, Chris, isn't he?
Yeah, and the thing is as well, what I don't get is like, why don't the IBF say, right, people keep pulling out. They keep saying they want to fight him and then pulling out. Why don't they just give him the mandatory shot and say, Dubois, fight Bakole next? Why are they making him fight a final eliminator? It's not fair. When everyone keeps pulling out fights of him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's see what else is on here. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
are we doing this in a bit, Chris? Because we now know. I can't remember if we pulled up some footage of it, but we now know Bakole's fighting a Jagba, don't we? Are we doing that in a bit?
We'll come to that next. But right, let's talk about this card. You've got for me, this card. I think this card is better than the original first Ryder season card. You know, the first one where you had Wilder versus who did Wilder fight on the original? Parker. And you
Parker,
one of them, heavyweights on there, and it was such like this is wicked because we're going to see Boots Ennis at 154 against an opponent that's going to make him pull all his skills out. You're going to see Parker versus Dubois, and I felt a bit sorry for Parker because he's been winning and doing well, and he hasn't been getting, and he has not been really getting any credit, and he's been like kind of been forgotten about. So even though like Dubois is supposed to fight Bakole or whatever, Parker is a very, very credible opponent, and if Parker wins, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised, to be honest. What do you think about that fight?
Yeah, it's a good. The thing is, I can almost kind of hear a lot of casual fans now, right? When this is released, I can hear them going, Dubois he should be able to kind of walk all over him, all the rest of it. People underestimate Parker still. You know, he had a very good win against Zhilei Zhang. He got put down twice. You know, he got beaten up badly by Joe Joyce, but showed terrific heart. He's got a very good chin. Probably lacks a little bit of punch power. He's not the biggest hitting heavyweight you'll ever see, but he's fairly skilled. Not got super fast hands, Chris, but you know he's a relatively quick heavyweight. He's got good ring IQ. Make no mistake, he will get in there, and I think he'll put on a good performance against Dubois. I think Dubois might get to him late, but like you said, if Parker beats him on points, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, completely shocked.
Upset. Wow, how did Parker beat him? Because Parker's a veteran in the game now, but he's not so old that he's past it. And Parker isn't in wars really. He had a war against Dylan White, and that's it really. The knockdowns against Zhang were just flash knockdowns where he got some time coming in, didn't see it. So it's like he's not really been in loads of wars. Like people like Joshua's been in wars where he's fucking with Ruiz, you know, like so. And put Miles on the
clock. He's been 12 rounds with AJ. He had that controversial win against Ruiz. He's a former WBO champion. You know, he had another controversial, but took Hughie Fury when Hughie Fury was looking really good 12 rounds. Yeah. You know, he's been in there against Dylan White. He's been in there against Derek Chisora, right? Yeah. He's got great names on his resume. And he's been in there with very, very experienced. I think he'll do well in the fight. I do think he'll lose, but I think he'll do well. But write him off at your peril because he's one of those fighters where, you know, look, he's coming off the back of really good form as well. Like momentum, he's got good momentum. Good win against Wilder. Wilder looked completely gun shy, I know, but that was a good performance from Parker.
Yeah, he didn't know that though, did he? Nobody knew. People didn't know that Wilder was fucked like that, did we? And neither did he. So it was a good win, regardless.
And he was ducking under the right hand. He was putting educated pressure on Wilder. He nullified the right hand, which is what you got to do against Wilder. He took the right hand away. You take the nuclear bomb away from Wilder. He hasn't got an AK-47 as plan B. He's only got a nuclear bomb. That's it. So if you take the nuclear bomb away, it's a weird analogy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's it. And he got that strategy. And like Parker's good at following game plans. Same with Zhang. Obviously, he got caught twice, but it still didn't matter. He still won the fight. The next one, obviously Beterbiev Bivol.
Wow.
That's just going to be an amazing fight anyway. Come on.
Nothing. Do you know what? It's almost one of those, right? This rematch, it speaks for itself. I don't need to say anything.
Yeah, we don't need to say it like. I'm seeing Beterbiev over here. I like Beterbiev. I want him to win.
I think he will. I think Beterbiev will be my just initial thoughts. I think he'll win again. I had Bivol in the first fight, but I think I'm not sure Bivol can hurt him.
Yeah, so, I love Beterbiev as well. I just love he's just like a machine. I just love his style and everything. His training and his whole attitude is just great. But moving on, Virgil Ortiz Vs Enis. This is a great fight.
Interesting.
Great fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Virgil Ortiz loves to kind of bring the heat. Loves a fight. Vs Enis, you know, we can see, you know, we saw in his last fight, got a bit carried away, didn't he, against old Karen, against Chuk, as I call him. Be interesting because I'll tell you this for one, Chris. If he keeps eating shots like he was in his last fight against Virgil Ortiz, could be a bit dicey for Vs Enis, that one. Going up to 154 as well.
If you think about it, none of them looked good in their last fights, really, did they? Even Virgil
Ortiz against Boachuk weren't great, to be honest.
That's what I mean. So they're both coming off lackluster performances. Yeah, they're both touted as major talents, futures of the division. So this is who is the future of the division? Let's see. Out of these two, let's see. We'll see. And it's a really good fight, 50-50 fight. This is why I love Turkey Al-Sheikh, because like it's putting on these 50-50 fucking great fights again on the same card. Like, what a card! You've got an undisputed fight.
Back on form with this card.
You just can't.
Yeah, I think it is a 50-50 fight. That I'm slightly edging towards Vs Enis, but I don't really know. I'm not sure, to be honest.
That's just, closer to the fight. Obviously, you can't sit on the fence. We'll have to make a prediction, but right now that's a 50-50 because they both didn't look good in the last fights. Both of them weren't looking too clever. So it's one of them ones. So is it Chris Adams who Hamza Sheeraz is fighting?
Carlos Adames.
Carlos Adames, that's it. So you got Carlos Adames, Hamza Sheeraz. I've got Sheeraz to win this fight. Not easy, but it's not a 50-50 fight for me. I'm most likely leaning towards Hamza Sheeraz.
Yeah, I agree. Not easy. Never. You know, at the end of the day, it's a world title fight. Yeah. Going the WBC route. Carlos Adames is a decent fighter. I haven't seen too much of him, but I expect Sheeraz. I expect his height, reach, size to be enough.
Yeah, for sure. And then the battle of the Duckers. Ajit Kabayel versus Seli Zhang. They both ducked Martin Bakole. There's no two ways about it. I do believe
it's a strange one, isn't it? It's a strange one how this has ended up.
Speculation, I feel like Frank Warren had something to do with this because it's funny how they both. I know Caballel's I think he's with the Sowlands or someone like that. But I know that Frank Warren has a lot of pull, especially on the Rider season cards. And I just feel like they said to Ben Shalom, yeah, fuck you. You're staying on the outside, and I'm just going to keep messing you around and saying, yeah, you can fight Caballel. No, you can't. You can fight Zhang. No, you can't. And then now both them fighters are getting paid more money than Bakole's going to get for ducking him on a Rider card, which it's not right, but that's how the game goes, you know? But it's only speculation. That I think it lies. I'm not saying it's definitely true. It's just my opinion, what I think might be happening, because it just seems a bit iffy to me that Frank Warren is pulling all the strings. He's got control of the fighters, and they keep saying they're going to fight him and then pulling out. Just a bit strange.
Something a little bit fishy going on there. But still an interesting fight, though. Still an interesting fight, and I think if Caballel, I expect Caballel to win this one. Actually, I think he's he's I don't know. I just think he might have Zhang's number. And I think if he does win, I think that kind of puts Zhang a little bit in the wilderness, really. What is he, 41 now?
If
He's not got
loses,
too many more.
If he loses, he should retire. So, moving on. So, because of this fight, Bakole's got another he's going to fight in his final eliminator. And this is a top-ranked fighter. So, hopefully, this guy won't pull out.
Hopefully.
What can't speak, can't lie. Here we go. Sky Sports. The International Boxing Federation, IBF, Martin Bakole versus F.A. Jagba, final eliminator for Daniel Dubois' heavyweight title. So the International Boxing Federation has ordered Martin Bakole to box F.A. Jagba for the right to become the mandatory challenger for their heavyweight title. Top Rank has informed the IBF that Jagba is available for the fight. Yeah? So we don't need to read the whole article. That's the up and down of it. Top Rank said that he can fight. IBF have ordered it. Everything's all good to go. What are you thinking about this fight?
Well, I was looking at this and I thought, why is it Jagba next? And then I dug a bit deeper. And obviously I think he's still got the WBC silver. And by the way, they've clearly tried to rebuild a Jagba, rebuild him since the Frank Sanchez loss.
He has a few good wins. He's had a few.
Yeah, I mean, nobody that you'd really know about. Some of them had decent records and stuff. I mean, I've got them rid of it. To be fair, actually, he did get a split decision against Vianello, who knocked out Makhmedov. So I think that was a good win.
Yeah.
And then you've got Goodall beat a guy called Kosabutsky. I can barely pronounce his name. I was looking at the rankings, and actually it makes sense because with the IBF, he's number 7. So Frank Sanchez is number 6. I'm not sure why Sanchez is as high as 6. That wouldn't have been the fight to make. So when you actually look at it, next in the pecking order in line would be F.A. Jagba outside of Zhang.
And he's on a winning streak as well.
And he's on a winning streak.
Even not credible opponents, but he's active and he's winning. So it makes sense, to give him a shot.
And he's in the top 10 with the other governing bodies. I mean, they say he's available, but is he necessarily? I've just still got a feeling a Jagba will pull out. I don't know.
But the thing is, do you know the worst thing is, who's Top Rank? Who's Bob Arum's main guy that he deals with in the UK? It's Frank Warren, isn't it? Again. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
Don't be surprised.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if last minute F.A. Jagba pulls out and they just get Frank Sanchez in last minute.
I don't fancy a Jagba in that fight one bit, Chris.
No.
I don't fancy him one bit. I think he's stiff. He's extreme. He's limited. He can punch a bit. He's decent. He's tall. But I think he's very limited compared to someone like Bakole. I think Bakole will be awkward. I think he'll hit him from different angles. His shot selection, his head movement ain't great. A Jagba, I think a Jagba could get hurt this fight quite bad. I don't know. That's just my feeling on it. What do you think if that fight happens?
I think Bakole's gonna. Well, I think Bakole will knock him out. But one thing Bakole's got to do, he can't do what he did to Anderson and just walk through the shots. Because a Jagba, he's not very skillful. He's like Wilder. He's a bit limited with his movement and his defense, but he hits hard. He does hit hard. So I would advise educated pressure. Be a bit cautious. Don't do what you did to Anderson and just be like, walk through the shots because you could get yourself knocked out.
Yeah, he clearly didn't respect Anderson's power. So I think perhaps, just a theory, he thought he's not really got anything in his arsenal that's going to... Because Anderson was catching him. We had some good moments in that fight, and his punches were just bouncing off him.
Through him, mate.
I think he just thought, you know what? you know, his hands were really low. I think he'll be a little bit more disciplined, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it happens again.
Definitely Bakole by stoppage, but I think, please, like, don't think that you can walk through Xagba's punches, because you won't be able to. That's my opinion. So that's it for that. Paul Bakole out in the wilderness again. Let's hope that this guy actually fights him and he don't pull out again. Because when is he going to fight now? Because these people keep pulling out, he's getting pushed back further, and it's going to be a boxer show.
And if he wins this, it gives him that. Though it's obviously a final eliminator. If he wins this, for God's sake, let him fight the winner of Parker and Dubois. For Christ's sake.
Totally. And you know the worst thing is, this might go to purse bids to take even longer. Because what if Bob Arum says, nah, I want this fight in America because the Jag was based in the USA. It's not going to be in England. Let's just hope Ben Shalom doesn't pull out of the purse bid and say, do you know what? Fuck you all. Everyone in boxing is picking on me, so I'm pulling him out if he can't get the fight in England. Do you know what I mean? It's just,
it wouldn't surprise me.
I hate it.
I'm not convinced it's going to happen, Chris. I'm not convinced.
And then Paul Bacole's just not getting his fight.
Fucking Bakole will end up fighting bloody Mark Demori or fucking Vianello or someone at this rate. What's going on? He'll end up fighting some like plumber part-timer at this rate.
But do you know, they should do the fight in Africa, because they're both Africans, Congolese, Nigerian. They should do it over there.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Oh, do you know
what's next on the...
Do it in Zimbabwe. Get Chisora to fight Bakole for his last fight.
Nice. Yeah, what's next on the agenda, Chris? Talking of Chisora, he's coming up soon, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Derek Chisora, the legends. The legendary journeyman. So this is a video from Jarrell Miller, So they're not fighting no more. So let's hear what good old Miller's got to say.
Good old Miller.
Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Baby here. Let me say this, man. The fight with Chisora is off. Chisora's a good dude. He wants to fight. I want to fight. The fight is off because this little piece of shit named Dimitri Salita, the dirtiest human being I've ever met in my entire life. And I've been around a lot of dirty motherfuckers. But Salita is the worst human being that's ever walked the planet. You know, this guy's now 16 years old. Him and his dirty ass lawyer, John Wirt, are compulsive liars. Now, my contract is up with him, but he's exercising his first and last right refusal and blatantly made up an entire story to try to get more money out of me. Basically extort me. This was basically what he did. And promoters are having it. They want me to fight, but do not want to do business with this guy. And I'm totally how can I say? The zone should be ashamed of himself working with a man like this. This guy absolutely does nothing for fighters. Nothing. All my fights that I've got negotiated with is all on my own behalf. He likes to use my name to solicit it to get other fighters to sign with him. Do not let him lie to you. Do not let Salita Promotions lie to you. Salita has not done jack shit for my career. Alright? And the reason why I even signed with him was due to an old promotional contract, probably 11 years ago, that I did with my old trainer, Kelly Richardson. That's the only reason why. And ever since, I've been dealing with trying to get out and figuring out how to deal with this nonsense.
That's enough of that shit. So I don't know. Do you want to start or?
Yeah, I did my first thought is, and we were speaking about this on the phone yesterday when we were going through the topics and what we were going to discuss. Look, I've always said this is true in life, and I said this to you. There's often two sides to a story and then the truth. And the truth normally lies somewhere in the middle. So, look, maybe this Salita is a complete scumbag, right? But you've shown yourself, Jarrell Miller, to me as an audience member, as a fan, to be a bit of a scumbag yourself. You're a wonderful self-promoter. You're a wonderful talker. You're great in press conferences. You're an entertaining fighter. I don't take none of that away from you. But you've also kind of, you know, I'll call him Big Pharma Miller, don't I? You know, I mean, the drug abuse, the kind of the drug bans, the opportunity with a life-changing money against Anthony Joshua. You know, the amount of times, you know, he talks about other people ruining his career. And it's like that person, you know, that person, there's always that guy in life, you know, who's like, every time a relationship goes wrong or they lose or something goes wrong, it's always everybody else's fault. And he's like, he needs to look at himself and go, well, I need to kind of take a bit of responsibility here myself. So the only one that's really held back his career a great deal is himself. Yeah. You can't control what other people do. They're going to do what they're going to do. So that's my overall feeling, Chris, on it.
Oh, yeah.
On it all.
Similar. Like, well, my problem with this is, the fight is off because of Jarrell Miller. Yeah, you can't say people are lying and making up. This is for all fighters, actually. Like when Eubank Jr. was saying they're all scumbags. If you sign a contract with somebody, you can't get out of it. You've signed it. You've agreed to it. So fucking read the fuck. You can't start crying about it afterwards and say, oh, they're trying to rob me. No, they're not. They made these terms, and you agreed to it, and then now you're saying that they're trying to rob you. But you agreed to it in the first place. So what the fuck are you crying about when you agreed to it? It winds me up. The fight's off because Jarrell Miller will not work with his promoter. And obviously, when you have a contract, I don't know the full ins and outs, but when you exercise the right to work or whatever he said, that clause or whatever in the contract, it means he gets a percentage of the next fight. And he can't say that the zone are wrong for dealing with it because this guy's probably said, I have a contract here, so if you put a fight on the zone with Jarrell Miller, you better fucking pay me my percentage. And that's his right because you both agreed to it. And you can't say that it's lies, because if it's lies, take him to court and prove that it's lies. But if you can't do that, then it's obviously not lies. It's simple as that. If it's in the contract, so the fight's not happening. He should just pay the guy his money, and then he's done with him forever. But now he's going to keep himself probably inactive or fighting nobodies for another year and putting his career on hold just out of fucking stubbornness. Again, just out of stubbornness. And I just think that it's just stupid. And I wish fighters wouldn't do this. Like it's that prima donna, like little acting like they're better than they are, and that they in this entitled era. Like if you sign something, you fucking honour it and stick to it, and then move on to bigger, better things and look at the contracts properly. Can't stop crying about it afterwards. So that's my view on it. Like the only person who's stopping this fight with Chisora is Jarrell Miller because he doesn't want to give money to his promoter that he agreed to.
It's a shame, Chris, because the guy's 36 now. He'll be 37. He's only he's in the kind of twilight years of his career. I think this might be the last. I can't remember how much more news we got coming, but we'll talk about Chisora in a second. But the Chisora Miller fight, I was actually, because I don't want Chisora to keep boxing for his own health. I mean, he's going to end up a vegetable at this stage if he's not careful. He's already halfway there. Sorry, just being honest, but it's being honest. But who Chisora's fighting next is just.
This is our next thing.
Doesn't inspire me at all.
Because of your stubbornness, now we've got to watch Chisora fight Otto fucking Wallin. Oh,
Otto Wallin. I'll tell you what's going to. Are we covering this next, Chris? Are we? Is this we're leading into this?
Last topic,
So, styles make fights than one of the biggest cliches in boxing, but it's true. Right, Chisora likes to kind of walk his opponents down, get his head off the line, bowl those big right hands over the top. Not a combination puncher, certainly not anymore. Wants to try and close the ring off a bit. But sometimes then he likes to kind of lean off the ropes if someone comes to him and then try and counter him. Otto Wallin's, he's not a puncher. He's not overly aggressive. He wants to move a little bit and kind of feel you out. You know, the first 3 rounds, he'll just kind of throw his lead hand out. It's a terrible fight. It's absolutely terrible.
Terrible. Like I'd rather see the Joe Joyce Chisora rematch. I would. I'd rather them to have a rematch than watching.
Oh yeah. Entertainment wise, boxing is still entertainment, right? It is still about entertainment. And look, maybe I'm wrong, but Otto Wallin is stylistically awful for Chisora.
Well, Chisora versus Wilder. I'd like to see that fight, Chisora Wilder, because I think Chisora will win that fight. But I don't want to see this fight.
That would have been. I'd have gone for that, because you look at like go back in Chisora's career when he's fought people like Gerald Washington, people like that. Those sort of fight. Otto Wallin's a little bit. I think he's better than Gerald Washington, but do you know what I mean? Kind of not just a little bit of a kind of passive, boring fighter, and it's just going to be a bit of a kind of snooze fest. I think
it is. It's going to be worse than Chisora Washington. It's going to be a stinker, man. It's going to be
terrible that fight. Terrible.
Wilder, Joe Joyce, Chisora fucking 2. Hellenius, if he's not banned, get Hellenius out of retirement. Fight Hellenius, fight Dylan White, but not this. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Hellenius is a little bit better, but Chisora needs someone to come on to him. He's often back. You know, someone like Joe Joyce, Dillian White, they'll kind of want to force the issue, put the pressure on, be aggressive, offensive. He tends to be better against those type of guys, not an Otto Wallin, who's a very one-dimensional kind of jab, 1-2, move a little bit. Yeah, good boxer. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's not inspiring.
So yeah, that's it for us today. It's been a RIFFIN news. They're the topics.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, leave your comments, like and subscribe, and please leave some comments. We want to hear your opinions, good or bad, with us. Interact.
And also, Chris, if anyone who's still watching it at the end of this, if any one of our subscribers got any ideas for any polls you want me to do for the shorts, because Chris does the video editing and I do the shorts. Anyone got an idea on any poll ideas for this video? Let me know. I like ideas.
Yeah, help us out, give us some ideas, interact with us, guys. Like and subscribe. Boxing Bros UK.
Don't forget.
We're out.
Wash.